Biodiversity hotspots. Can you tell me the meaning just by reading the word? Huh? Yeah, lot of flora and fauna is there. That's why it's a hotspot. Hotspot means something that is there in great numbers or something that is very happening. Correct, no? If you say in Bangalore, what is the hotspot for shopping? What will you say? Chickpete. Okay, budget shopping is Chickpete. If you want expensive shopping, you will say Indra Nagar, right? So things like this. If you say what is the hub or hotspot for UPSC coaching, you will say Chandra Layout. Correct, no? So like that. These are hotspots. Similarly, if you say what is the hotspot for biodiversity, what will you say? In India, what are the examples? Himalayas are in Western Ghats is an example. Northeast comes under Himalaya, but there is another term for it called Indo-Burma. It's called Indo-Burma. We will talk about that also. Indo-Burma. Any other spaces in Andaman is not, but Nicobar is. Okay, Nicobar is a space called Sundaland. Okay, I'll talk about Sundaland also. Very good, very good. So these are the 4 major biodiverse hotspots in India. But there are such hotspots across the world. Okay, one of the biggest examples of such hotspots in the world is it's an Amazon forest. Absolutely, Amazon forest is very biodiverse. But what makes it a hotspot? Is biodiversity sufficient? No. So we call it a hotspot when the concentration of endemic species is very high. What is endemic species? In that particular place, that species is found abundantly or in a decent population. In other places also it may be found, but not to this extent, because it could be found beyond the geographical area also, but it is not very well distributed. That is what endemic species means. Endemic species means it is constrained and it is found in one particular area. So a hotspot is a region where the concentration of endemic species is higher. So when we talk about Western Ghats, right, even today researchers are finding new species of frogs. Can you imagine? I mean, people are finding bacteria, that's a different story. Here they are finding new species of frogs in our forests even today. So much of Western Ghats is still unexplored in that way. Also, if you look at Amazon, they are finding new species of insects almost every year. Why? Because so much of Amazon is still unexplored. So it becomes a hotspot. But when we talk about endemic species, we have to go back to Charles Darwin. Okay, we have to go back to Charles Darwin. Darwin gave one theory. What is that theory? Survival of the fittest theory. But Darwin also did many other experiments, and he had to look at 2 places to start talking about evolution, right? The survival of the fittest theory is based on what? It is based on evolution. But Darwin also did a lot of work on biodiversity. Okay, Darwin also did a lot of work on biodiversity. Have you heard of the island of Madagascar? Where is Madagascar? Okay, now let's start opening up the map today. We have preloaded. So this is the African continent. Got it? No? This is the African continent. This is Madagascar. Madagascar has split away from Africa. How can you say it has split away from Africa? From shape. Now, if I take this piece and I cut it and I paste it here, it's like a puzzle piece. Okay, there are so many puzzle pieces in the world. You can keep doing puzzles if you have the world map. Okay, so this is split from. Darwin studied how biodiversity differed in the island of Madagascar and in the African continent. And one of the things that many researchers, not just Darwin, many researchers found is that Madagascar had almost 90% endemic species. 90% endemic species. That means that the flora and fauna that you are finding in Madagascar, you are finding nowhere else in the world. 90% of it. Okay. Lemurs. Madagascar lemurs are very famous. Lemurs are like monkeys. I don't know if you have seen lemurs. Okay.